There you are. Welcome to Zen Fits here in Blackstone, Virginia, the center of the world. But then you too are at the center of the world. So let's talk about today's topic, or what I call my meditation. Trump, saint or sinner? Trump, saint or sinner? Question mark. Which is he? Of course, if you're on the left, he's a sinner. If you're on the right, he's a saint. Which is he? This is a very deep subject. I remember Sartre wrote a book about I forgot the name of it, about some criminal. And I forgot his name, but he's saint or sinner. They're opposites. The two S's, saint, sinner, but they're contradictory. There are incompatible viewpoints. Is he a saint? Or is he a sinner? Well, you see. They're incompatible. But in America, MAGA puts them both together. So let's look at this. It's a deep problem. It's our problem. And no one really understands it. You watch the news, it's either going to be he's a sinner or a saint. From the left, MSNBC, the news, yada, yada, he's a sinner. And it's obvious. Look at all of his sins. You got a list. 40 counts of indictments. He's a sinner. And on the right, he's a saint. The hell with that's just a hoax. That's just irrelevant. He's a saint. Let's look at that. And you really need a wide-angle lens. So fasten your seatbelts, put on a wide-angle lens here. I'm going to try and penetrate this mystery in just a few minutes. Impossible. But I've read all my life, I've read Joseph Campbell. And I have read, and I reread, probably every 10 years, The Masks of God, which is 4 volumes in the study of mythology. Primitive mythology, Oriental mythology, which is like yoga and Buddhism, Occidental mythology, which is the study of European history and the conflict in Europe between the pagan culture and the Christian culture. You got this conflict. You don't have this conflict in Asia. Japan, China, these Asian cultures don't have this conflict. It's only the European conflict. This is what makes European civilization so violent and so creative. Violent and creative. Because it's the contradiction of 2 incompatible viewpoints. Now, the basic religion or nature of Europe was paganism before the Christians came. Before the church came, not the Christians. The church, which was in European history, the Holy Roman Catholic Church was a religious Holy Roman Empire. When the Roman Empire lost its power, the church took over, and took over the same ground all the way to England. But it was bigger, and it held together for 1,000 years. But there was always a conflict, a rub, you see. Because the basic fundamental nature of Europe was paganism. And paganism, if you put aside they're bad, was a worship of your nature, your individual nature, and nature itself, you see. The pagans didn't worship some all one God, this God who was emperor of all. The pagans worshiped their own local nature, their own local gods, their own local intuitive self. And so the Christianized European, you see, was obedient to the Catholic Church and the Roman Pope and the empire. So this is this Star Wars. Star Wars. This is mythology. Star Wars was a war between the republic or the humans, the true humans, who followed the Force within, and the evil empire who followed the Force without. Darth Vader, or the 12, or the Cabal, or whatever this invisible council was. You see, there was obedience to that, like in the church. Obedience to the Pope, obedience to the Vatican, obedience to the priests, the hierarchy. You see, God, Pope, bishops, yada yada, all the way down to the pyramid. But the geometry of the pagan is the tribe, is the circle. Everybody is equal in the tribe. Everybody, if you belong to a tribe, each individual is the whole tribe. But in the planning societies, in the civilized society, it's a hierarchy. So everybody's got a job in the pyramid. You got your people at the top, your managers, your CEO, you got y'all and yada, all the way down to the workers. It's a pyramid, both in religion, in the church, and in the workforce. But the pagan geometry is a circle. If you get a group of people together who want to solve a problem, and there's nobody who's in charge of it all, who's going to dictate the answer, everybody's equal. Everybody's looking for the answer from their viewpoint, but it's a circle. You get in a circle. So you got the circle and you got the pyramid, if you want to just simplify that. And the pyramid is order imposed from above or without or by force or by the church or by the empire or by the dictator or whatever, it's imposed. And the circle is tribal, and there is no imposed order. Everybody is equal. So there is no order imposed. The order is discovered from within. Order is discovered from within, or order is imposed from without. And these two viewpoints are in the American soul, and they are contradictory. They're incompatible, but both are valid. In society, you got to have a hierarchy, you got to have some kind of order, but you got to have tribes too. I mean, the hippie revolt, you see, if you look back to the 60s, I'm old enough to have watched the whole thing. God damn it, I left my thing off. Hope you heard it. Look at the 60s, there was a resurrection of tribal thinking, hippie communes, everybody's equal, man. We're don't obeying the man. You see, the man was a pyramid. The man was the government, going to impose his will. You're going to go to war. And the hippie says, fuck you, I'm not going. I'm obeying my nature. And you say, obey the government, obey the higher order, obey the pyramid. No, I'm a circle. I'm a circle. I'm obeying my friends. I'm hanging out in a tribe. We're gonna live together equally. It was an experiment in the 60s. Of course, the pyramid came back with Reagan, disguised as a circle. Disguised as a circle, you see. So we have been going through our history here in this yin-yang of circle, pyramid, freedom, control, nature, what's the opposite? Machine, nature, machine. All of these opposites, you see, or both have a valid viewpoint, both are necessary, but not absolutely. So we keep trying to separate the yin from the yang, the male from the female. You see, female would be a circle, male would be a pyramid. Even in the symbols of the male and female, you have these two structures. Pyramid, this is a symbol of male. Turn it upside down, it's female. So these two principles, you see, in America are in a constant state of conflict. We can't come up with one that satisfies both viewpoints. So what is Trumpism? Trump is saint and sinner. Trumpism is a movement, you could even call it a spiritual movement, to reconcile the conflict in our nature between male and female, pyramid and circle, imposed order and discovered order from within, creativity. You can see this in every situation, in your own life, in your own home, in your own household. This conflict is there. In relationship. Should I be in a relationship? Should I be obedient to the other and say, oh yes, you're right. Or should I say, fuck you, I'm right? You see. Right there, then it's explosive. When these two meet, it's an explosion because there's a drive to become one, but you have two and they're incompatible, so you can't become the one because they are opposites. And each one doesn't want to give in to the other. So it is going, wow, 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 making an amplifier, wow, 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 pew, divorce, a mass shooter. Newspapers are full of people who solve the argument, the dilemma, by killing the other person. I remember Indiana Jones, and he was in the Last Crusade, and he's going to fight this guy who's got a sword, and the guy's going through all of his ritual, and Indiana Jones just pulls out the pistol and shoots him and goes on. Anyway, the point is, Trump is the saint and the sinner. He combines them two. Now the sinner would be the pagan. The pagan is, I follow my own nature. I am obedient to myself. I don't listen to the experts. I don't listen to the generals. I don't listen to the doctors. I don't listen to anybody. I follow myself. I know how to fix it. I follow myself. I am Trump. That's a pagan viewpoint. Now the other viewpoint is that of being obedient, the religious viewpoint, the evangelical viewpoint. Be obedient to God. Be obedient to the church. Be obedient to the Bible. Be obedient to the commandments. Be humble. Be a servant. This is a commandment, and it's strong in America. Be obedient, the obedient servant, not the rebel, not the bad guy. But then on the other hand, the American dream is be the bad guy, be the rebel, revolt, follow your dream, fuck the government, be free, have your own business, have your own farm, your own homestead, you see, be free. And the other, be obedient, obey God. You see, so these two commandments are fighting inside America. But in Trump, they have come to a resolution. They've come to a happy marriage. Trump and MAGA is a happy marriage between being a rebel and being obedient, both of which we must do. But we can't, except in Trump. So MAGA is a way in which you can have your cake and eat it too. A MAGA or a Trumper has his freedom, has his paganism, and has his sainthood at the same time. I can be a saint and be obedient to church and God, and I can be Satan and rebel at the same time in Trump, because Trump is ambiguous. Trump is not this. Trump is this. Trump would be the hag. You see the hag. This is her big old nose, her mouth, her eye. Or she is the princess. The little eye, her right cheek, her little right ear, her necklace. Sinner, saint. Trump is both. He's ambiguous. Which one is this, you say? Is this about a sinner, the hag, or is it about a saint, the princess? Which is it? So the question is, you say, on the right, we say, oh, Trump is a princess. Trump is a saint. But on the left, we say, oh, Trump is a sinner. Trump is a hag. Trump is an ogre. He's going to take over America. And the other one says, no, Trump is going to save America. Trump is going to save America. No, Trump's going to destroy America. The hag and the princess. It's ambiguous. So in Trump, we have a mythology. In Trump, we have a metaphor. In Trump, we have a work of art, a performance that gives us our cake and eats it too. I can be both a sinner and a saint. I can be both a pagan and a religious person, obedient, you see. I can be both creative and destructive. I can be the opposites in Trump, you see. Why? Trump's ambiguous. Can't pin him down. Can't nail him to the wall. Can't define him. Can't say if he's this or that. He's like a chameleon. To one viewpoint, oh, he's God. To the other point, he's Satan. Back and forth. The two viewpoints can't see beyond their viewpoint. But to see beyond the two contradictory viewpoints, the left and the right, you have to have creative vision. You have to create your vision. You have to see beyond the opposites. And this is the fourth book of the Mask of God. You got the study of primitive, which was pagan. You got the study of Occidental, which was the story of the church and the pagans. And you got the Oriental, which is Buddhism and yoga. It's all one. And you got the modern creative mythology. All the old myths are gone now. All the old gods are dead. All the old magicians and all the old magical tricks, all gone. It's all rational. It's all science. We all can understand it. We're all Sherlock. No magic. It's all logical. Figure it out. It's all logical. No more magic. No more. Been watching Sherlock Holmes lately, and that's what it's about. Sherlock is finding out that everything is rational. There's a logical explanation for everything. It's the Western way. There's no gods, no magic. So anyway, the question with Trump is that he is not logical. He's magical, but he's logical. He's not logical because it's logical with the evidence that he's a sinner. But he's magical because through my belief in Trump, he's a saint. So this is like faith versus reason. Reason said he's a sinner. Faith says he's a saint. And yet it's the same Trump. The same facts, but from different viewpoints. So Trump is a magical, metaphorical, religious secular movement that creates a way for you to be both rational and magical, both faith and reason, both logical and illogical, both a sinner and a saint at the same time. It solves the fundamental flaw in our nature, this fundamental civil war in our nature between I want to do this, but I should do that. I should be good, but I want to feel bad. You see. In Trump, I can be both good and bad at the same time. Thanks for dropping in.